Hello folks, this is Steve AB4L. I got the window open. You'll hear the traffic. It's still like summer. I don't mean hot summer, I mean pleasant summer. Yeah, it's almost 8:45 p.m. I still got the window open. Eat your hearts out. Now, my default browser that I use, I'm not promoting anything, I'm not recommending anything, is Google Chrome, which is based on the open source Chromium project. Now, there's another browser that's also based on the Chromium stuff. Oh, yeah, Microsoft switched over. And but I only open it once a week to update the fixes if there are any. So I have, if I want to start it, I have to do it this way. I don't have it down there on my taskbar. But I'm having it run in the background for what I'm doing so that you can't see my desktop, because I'm going to be closing my Chrome browser, and I don't want you to see the mess in here on my desktop. So right now you're seeing that my default page on my Edge browser from Microsoft is not Bing. Now, nothing in this episode is a promotion nor is a recommendation. I have 6 tabs that open automatically when I start my Chrome browser. I want you to know there are 6. And this is news for nerds, and I need it in order to demonstrate or try to recreate something that happened that I thought was interesting. Now, boy, I'll tell you, Slashdot has, News for Nerds has really gone into the dustbin. That's the Brit talk in me. Because on this page now, there's like 4 or 5 excerpts from articles on MSN.com, the Microsoft News website. But we'll use one of them. Plastic-eating bacteria can combat pollution problems, scientists hope. Let's go look at the article. Now that picture could be just like the sewage treatment plant on the Deep River. Actually, there's 2 of them. There's one for Franklinville and there's one for Ramseur. And they're kind of close to each other, but the town line is between them. And that's what they look like inside. It's a 3-minute read, and it's actually from the Washington Post. And I want to play around a little bit, hoping that, what if we powered the planet with seawater? Well, that sounds exciting. There's world news, and then there's local. I'm waiting for it to do something. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, if I want to search the web, what do you think this? Oh, finally it did it. But I was going to say, did you notice the symbol up here? If I'm on MSN and I want to use a search engine, the one they'll use is what? Bing! But let's look at what just popped up. Add MSN new tab for Chrome. Now that's a kind of self-advertising, but what are they offering me? And I say maybe later. There's also a little X, I can just kill it. but I'm not going to kill it. Now I'm going to give you a little background. Earlier this year, Microsoft and the Edge browser, see that symbol up in the corner there? Microsoft and the Edge browser became what I would call excessively aggressive. Now, I only open the Edge browser once a week. I do it every Friday as part of doing the security updates that may be available for each of my browsers. I have 4 different browsers installed on here. One of them is against my will. That's the Edge browser. You do know that there's a EU law now that says that if people using Windows want to uninstall Edge, you'd better let them do it, Microsoft, or you'll be paying like crazy in fines. But that doesn't apply to the United States. So whether I like it or not, I can't uninstall Edge to the best of my knowledge. Earlier this year, they became very aggressive. I'm using my Chrome browser, and I open it up. Now remember what I said. When I open my Chrome browser, there are 6 tabs. I set them. I want them. But one day, and this happened numerous times, I opened my Chrome browser, which is from Google, and it opens to the 7th tab instead of the 1st tab. And what is the 7th tab? The Bing search engine. You have to understand that I'm using Windows, and I don't own this operating system. And I only own the hardware that it's running on, but other than that, we can do anything we want to because we, Microsoft. Now, this is kind of indirectly related to what I told you. A lot of people, and it made news in the tech world and people who read things like Slashdot, it really got to be a big backlash that they were doing that to everybody, and everybody didn't like it. But since I voluntarily went to the MicrosoftNewsSite.com, I guess they think that they can at least say, would you like us to add another tab to your Chrome browser, not Edge, Chrome browser, so that it will be there for you to quickly get to MSN. How wonderful of them to make it convenient for me to do that. Do you think I want to add that tab? Why don't we do it anyway? Now, I want you to notice, add MSN new tab for Chrome. So there would be 7 tabs, right? Instant access to weather, news, AI-powered search, and more. Now, they give me a choice. Maybe later. How polite of them. But they don't say, they didn't put a button there that said no, never. Install now. And of course I could just click on the X and close the dialog. But why don't we install it? Now this is why I'm making the video. I wanted to see, let me show you something. I opened a new tab. If you go in the upper right hand corner and you go down to settings, this is the settings for the Google Chrome browser. And then you go down over here on the left to something called On Startup. Open the new tab page when you start it up. Continue where you left off. It could remember the tabs you had open at the time you closed the browser and turned the computer off, or just close the browser. Open a specific page or set of pages. That's what I prefer to use. And there are 6. If I have a set of tabs open and I want those to become the new set, I can choose Use Current Pages. There's also one in there under the Open a Specific Set of Pages, Add a New Page, and then I can go to it and it'll add that in. I think sneaky behind what Microsoft was doing is that they were invading my Windows operating system. They could see that I was preferentially using Chrome browser. They went in there and they went to this part of the database that's inside of Chrome under my user data. Users, the name of my channel, Chrome data, and they snuck it in. So the next time, after they snuck it in under the next time I opened my Chrome browser, there was an extra tab, and it opened to that as the preferential one, not the one I had chosen, and it was the Bing search engine. I opened to /dot as my preference, News for Nerds. But when I open any further tabs, it automatically goes to Google search engine by my choice. Now, why am I going through this big explanation? Because I told you what Microsoft was doing to add a new tab, uninvited, without any permission, sneak it in, didn't tell me they were doing it. And there was a huge backlash. Huge. They had an avalanche of people complaining once it happened to them a couple of times and they realized what Microsoft was doing. Operating like one of the gangs in Haiti. Autonomous. We own it all. Now, excuse my long explanation. You've seen that I have 6 preferred selections, which those tabs will always be there when I start my browser new. If I open a second instant, it won't do that. But when I click to start Chrome browser, I presume that that's where I'm going to find a new entry when I say install now. Something's gone wrong here. Now this is why I'm doing the video. Something's gone wrong. It says up there, redirection page. It says browserdefaults.microsoft.com extn redirect Let's see if we can make it do it. It's not working. Why would they have me click a button that doesn't work? Let me try Firefox. I'm going to put the same thing in there because I can see what it is. Do you understand that this is the Firefox browser? And this is an extension of some kind. Now look what it says. Switch to Chrome Look what it says right here. I don't know if I can make it larger. I haven't done this before. We're exploring. They want to say to me, look up here. It says switch to Chrome. Google recommends using Chrome when using extensions and themes. It says switch to Chrome to install extensions and themes. Now wait a minute. I'm using my Firefox browser. But that thing took me to the web store, Chrome web store. You see, if I go to add-ons and themes, this is the one for Firefox. But they know that that redirection is actually intended to go it's for Chrome extensions. And I'm actually at, now let me read the URL, chromewebstore.google.com/details/MSN new tab. So what they want to do is add an extension into my Chrome browser. But to find out what they actually are up to, because I didn't know, I had to use the Firefox browser. See, this is getting technical. This is called a redirect. It's ordering the browser to break off from where it was at on the web and go somewhere else. Now I want to try another experiment. Let me try the Brave browser. And I think this will be, I want to see what it does. Now they use the DuckDuckGo search engine. That's the default tab. Now I'm going to put in that other one that somehow didn't work when it was in the Chrome. Okay. And now I'm at the Chrome Web Store. It's for the MSN new tab. It's an extension, workflow plan, Add the MSN new tab for quick access to the latest. So what I think is this will execute some code and add a new tab. But for some reason it didn't work in the Google Chrome browser, but let's see if it'll work here. This is I'm going to say add to Brave. Now wait a minute, let me show you. This has gotten more complicated than I thought. Brave is also based on Chromium, the way Google Chrome is, the way Microsoft Edge is. And this is pretty much standard. And so there's a settings. Now we're doing this in the Brave browser, not the Chrome browser. And open a specific page or set of pages, DuckDuckGo, that's the search engine, YouTube, homepage, and /doc. Okay? Now they got this thing up here, make them the default browser, but I don't want that. So this will be interesting. All right, so I'm going to close the settings thing, and I'm going to try to add it to Brave to see what it will do. And now it says Brave does not review. I want to see if this will work, because I don't. Is it generic enough for Chromium-based browsers that it'll actually add a new tab, or will it fail? I'm going to say add extension. Now, I'm going to preface this. I've tried to do this with some other things that were intended for Chrome, and when I tried to put them into the Brave browser, it didn't go. It didn't work. add the extension. Let's see what happens. Now I need to approve this again. Now it's going, now I have MSN. Okay. Now I'm going to close my Edge browser. Excuse me, my Brave browser. This is the Brave browser. You see I'll close that. There's the YouTube. There's the slash dot. And it says Microsoft Start as MSN. Now I'm going to kill that. Now what we're actually looking at is back at the Chromium browser where that step failed. So now I'm going to reopen my Brave browser from my taskbar, and I want to see if there's a new tab. There's the DuckDuckGo, which is the first preferred one. There's the YouTube homepage that has no videos because I said you're not allowed to see what I've been watching. And here's the slash dot, but there is no MSN tab. Now let's go and look at settings. Remember, this is the Brave browser that's based on the Chromium code. Now look where it put it. Do you remember what was there before? On startup, open new tab page, and its MSN new tab is controlling this setting. Manage or disable. I'm going to say, I could disable it, and it means it will go away. Well, why don't I say manage? Let's see what happens. And you see this thing up here? It's turned on. And add the new MSN new tab for quick access to the latest news, blah, blah, blah. And to get the version, the size, the permissions, replace the page you can see when opening a new tab. Replace the page you can see when opening a new tab. Site access, the extension can read and change your data on sites. And that's standard. And it has to do with MSN and Microsoft.com. Okay, now what am I going to do? I'm going to close the Brave browser. You're now seeing the Chrome browser where it didn't complete that step. And now once again, I'm going to open the Brave browser and see how many tabs there are on startup. I've got the DuckDuckGo, I've got the YouTube tab, and I've got the slash dot tab. And when I go to settings, and it opens immediately to the get started, so it's stuck at a different point. See the grin on my face? Now, I'm going to tell you something. The Brave browser touts the fact that you don't need ad blockers and stuff like that. They build that all into on top of the Chromium code. That's one of the things that they tout as a reason why you might want to use Brave browser all the time. I'm not promoting anything, folks. I'm explaining this. This is very technical. And even though I said manage, and I approved it, it still won't let it do it. Unless I do that. So we're going to close it again. And we're back to the stuck Google, Chrome, and then I'm going to start Brave browsing again. I didn't expect that we were going to go down this path. What's it say up there? Now this is MSN as the only tab that's opening. Oh, is that what they were giving me? Oh, I thought they were going to add a tab. But they did the typical Microsoft, we're in charge of things. You're going to do what we want. Excuse me for raising my voice. We own the world. It's been that way since the beginning with Bill Gates. Go back and read the history of the very beginning of Microsoft with Bill Gates. He's a multi-billionaire. He must be right. He's almost a god walking on earth. Pardon the editorial comment. Now that symbol up there means that they're going to use the Bing browser. Bing search engine. So Bing, the Bing search engine, is actually running behind this. But wait a minute. The Brave browser code has said this page was changed by the MSN new tab extension. Do you want to keep it? Remember what I said about the stuff, the ad blocking and the blocking? Oh, wait a minute. Bill and Melinda Gates gave their kids a strict middle-class upbringing. I didn't see him there. Bill, I'm sorry I spoke. Oh, Bill, if I had known you were here, I might not have yelled. Remember, I've been in this since 1983, so I know about Bill Gates from way back to the CPM days. And, oh, well, that's off the topic. I can keep it or I can change it back. What would you do? You see, this is Brave browser. They know people like Microsoft are going to try shit like this. They're not any different than the hackers and the malware and all that stuff. And they're protecting me. So I'm going to say change it back. Now, this is typically what happens. So once again, we close the Brave browser. And the background here is actually the Chromium browser where all this stuff, when I tried to do it, didn't work. Because somebody was protecting me. Now I can draw the conclusion that somebody was protecting me. So now I'm going to start the Brave browser one more last time. And what they changed me back to is the default page for the Brave browser. And what I do is DuckDuckGo. So I'm bringing up the DuckDuckGo tab. Then I create another tab. And I want YouTube, homepage. And then what was the last one? Oh, /dot. News for Nerds. And then I kill the first tab. And then I go over here and I go to settings, which are just like in the Chrome browser. And then it says here, open a specific set of pages. I choose that instead. And there are the three I've chosen. And I say, use these. I could say use the current pages, but that's the same as that. So now I close the browser and I open the Brave browser again, and I have my DuckDuckGo back, my YouTube back, and my /dot back. Now, why did I take you down this journey? Unexpected journey. How Brave browser added protections behind the scenes where you don't have to, for the most part, use things like ad blockers, is that they intercepted it, but they didn't destroy it, and they said, are you sure you really want to do this? And they gave me the choice. They gave me the choice. So we're finished with them. This one, the way they handled it, they said, why are you coming here with that redirection? That has to do with Chrome. We're not Chrome. We don't have any code in common with them, except some of our rendering engine. So we'll get rid of Firefox. But they were a part of understanding what was going on. Why did it fail? Is there code in Chrome because of it? No. No. After seeing these other things, I'm going to make an educated guess. Manage extensions. I don't mind if you see my extensions. I know who did it. I know who did it. It was this guy right here. Malwarebytes Browser Guard. The fastest and safest web browsing experience. Let's go to the extensions to the Chrome Web Store, and then I'll go in Malwarebytes browser Shazam, find song names from your browser extension. Equalizer for Chrome browser extension. Cursor style, Microsoft Defender browser protection extension. Oh, that's interesting. Microsoft Defender browser protection extension? I didn't know there was one of those. Because what I'm looking for is the Malwarebytes browser extension. Browser Guard. Oh! Browser flow, web scraping and web... Browser lock. Lock your browser extension. Oh, I didn't know. Browser Guard. Maybe I misspelled Malwarebytes. Malwarebytes Browser Guard. Featured. And it indicates that it's already installed. Correct. Malwarebytes Browser Guard Beta. For some reason that's still there. Urban Browser Guard safeguards your online privacy. Do you know? But who is that? And then there's somebody who's come up with one called Browser Guard. Do you think they're safe to use? Why would they use the same name? Malwarebytes is the one that started that. Anti-phishing safer browsing for Chrome, browserguard.net, and it's featured. BrowserGuard protects you against the dangers of the... it's CyberLink BrowserGuard, and it's got no recommendations. Now, my guess is it was Malwarebytes BrowserGuard that screwed Microsoft over. They understood what was going on, and they're the ones that played with it, prevented it from going where it was. It simply, even though the URL was up there, it says, we're not going to let you go there. No, 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 we know what they're up to. I bet you they're the one. We'll turn it off. Hang on. Manage extensions. I've turned off Malwarebytes, but I'm also going to turn off uBlock Origin, and I'm going to turn off Privacy Badger. Okay? And then I'm going to say update so that we know everything is cycled. And then I'm going to go back to MSN, and I'm going to fool around. And then I'm going to do something here to see if I can trigger that thing. Can I do something to trigger it? It doesn't seem to be too interesting. Let me force an update on the page. Your employment goals, science. All right, now hang on. I'm going to start the Firefox browser so you can't see my desktop. I'm going to close the Edge browser. I'm going to close the Chrome browser. Now, what you're seeing is the Google Search tab at Firefox. Now I'm going to restart this, and then I'm going to choose an... Oh, can you tell that I turned off the ad blocker? And we're going to go to the MSN article. It doesn't seem interested in doing that to me anymore. Watch. Remember, I still have my Firefox browser hiding my desktop. Then we do one more thing. We go to Settings. See, they may have a cookie that said we already did it. So what we do is we go to Privacy, and we go to Delete your browsing data. And now it doesn't remember my browsing history. I close it. This is Firefox. Now I'm going to start it again. and I'm going to find an MSN article. Talk about hacking. Boy, they sure have a lot of... I don't remember all those ads being there before. Is that because I turned off the ad block? Now, I'm not going to keep going. It's just that, do you see as you scroll down, it keeps popping other stuff in there? This is really sophisticated stuff, right? There's 2 notifications here. What are the notifications about? Oh, top stories, yeah. Windows users, they're showing my laptop on fire. I was hoping that they would pop that thing up again so that I could try to... Oh, wait a minute, was that up top? Upgrade your Chrome browser with a MSN new tab. Oh, do you see it right up there? Now I understand what was going on. I'm adding another dimension. It's an ad. Oh, look, this is how hackers figure out things and how to get in. And this is what when I went to work for that internationally known, internationally operating IT company, my first job for the first 3 years was as a software tester. So you kind of have to be a successful one, you really kind of like be able to notice things that and the add it now or close is the same as the dialogue. But they're able to put it right, I didn't notice it, they're able to put it right at the top on every page as an ad. See, now this is really getting long, but I'm exploring the hell out of this. Look, I go back to extensions and manage them. I want to turn on Malwarebytes Browser Guard. I want to turn on Privacy Badger, and I want to turn on uBlock Origin, which is an ad blocker. Okay. Now I've turned them back on, and I say Update. Now I still have my Firefox browser, so I can close this, and that's what you're seeing is the Firefox browser. Now I restart my Chrome browser. See, I'm experimenting. And I'm going to close all these other things. And then I'm going to scroll down and get an MSN link. Will hurricanes prompt more So I thought the ad blocker would stop it. This has got me completely confused. They're really playing games with me. Oh! Where is it now? It only showed it to me once. Now look at this. Get to MSN faster, add the MSN new tab for Chrome. So that pop-up was just one of 3 strategies. You see, this is at a different position, okay? This is a side ad. So let's go to technology. You see what's here? Top stories, right? On that one, top stories that take you to political news, basically, and weather news. Crime, that didn't change. Politics. All right, now we go to the news page, and we get that. Now Firefox is still open. We close it. And then we start our Chrome browser again. We go to /. We go to an MSN, right? And it's at the top. I'm learning. I'm learning what they're up to. No, wait a minute. If I went to a specific add it now or close, all right, I'm going to close that. How do I get to other things? Microsoft Start. Where's all the stuff? See, I have ad blockers. Look at how long it took it to do that. I'm going to close it again. I'm going to start it. I'm playing with this. I know it's boring the hell out of you, but this is fascinating. This is an ad. Visit the Wall Street Journal, but they've got it embedded in a way. Is the now Microsoft Start. See, it worked this time. Instead of giving me a big blank page, look what it did. But where's the thing about going to MSN? Where's the thing about going to MSN? Putting an extension in. Somebody's blocking it. So now this is it. What's my conclusion? I'm going to remind you that at least twice I put up episodes where I showed that the Malwarebytes browser guard extension in Chrome browser antagonizes the YouTube Creator Studio search at the top. What it's supposed to be doing is that when you click to watch a video and YouTube wants to play an ad, one of the features you can turn off of the Malwarebytes browser guard is the ad blocking. And they've been fighting a struggle, Malwarebytes has. They added that feature in when it became a big deal about uBlock Origin and other ad blockers interacting with the YouTube ad stuff. They got into it too to show they could do it even better. And one of the side effects was that if I'm simply in my logged in Creator interface, Creator Studio, and I try to use the search bar at the top to see videos from my 5,000 videos, like the word dog, do I have any videos with that title? It doesn't work if the browser guard is on to block ads. It has three things, and if I turn the ad checkmark off, then the search for over all my video titles works. Why did I go off on that tangent? Because I'm looking at the non-reproducible nature of this MSN add-in thing on the Chrome browser with my browser guard turned on. And I think it's a similar kind of hit or miss. They're fighting each other under the covers. They're fighting each other under the covers. Because this all started with a pop-up to make it get through. But then we saw it was an add thing at the top, but now it won't show up, nor will the pop-up come up again. So I think that there's an AI behind the latest version of Browser Guard, and it learns as it goes. I have suspected that previously, and I suspect the Browser Guard is actually been sending what I've been doing back, and the AI back at, I'm serious, Malwarebytes was figuring it out, and that's why we're now seeing what's going on. Any AI stuff, a part of what it's learning on is not single source. It learns from at least several examples, if not a lot of examples. Whether it's text write-ups about a certain topic, or in this case, active interaction with attempts to put ads in front of my face. And if there really is, as I'm hypothesizing, an AI engine that's been added to the immediate updating of the behavior of Browser Guard. And why would they do that? Because what I did is I helped them learn, and then they can incorporate it into the Browser Guard itself, and then when you do it, you screw up MSN completely. They can't show you any of that crap. There's no ads showing now. Basically, there's, other than their own ads, there's no real ads showing now. Did they lose interest in me? I don't think so. I think Browser Guard is doing it. Remember when I went back to Slashdot with the Browser Guard off, those things off, and I said, oh, look at the ads. If I go there now, there are no ads. There should be an ad panel at the top. But it's because the Browser Guard was, and the others were turned back on. Excuse me for going at length. I've learned something here. This is like me back way then when I got paid to do this kind of stuff. Love it. Steve AB4 just having fun. Not brain dead yet. Saying see you in 73.